Let's move on to 4A, Sectional 19. I think this is an interesting one because you've got Plymouth versus Angola. Record-wise, those teams pretty darn good. Plymouth 5-2. The Rockies having a good season. Angola 6-1. Andy Thomas doing big things in his third year. And then on the bottom half of that part of the bracket, you've got DeKalb versus a very talented, offensively charged East Noble team. How do you see that playing out? Because there are three teams there with really good records.
I think East Noble is the favorite, but you have Northwood sitting there at 7-0, and that's setting up to be a sectional championship game, and that's going to be huge because East Noble, offensively, nobody has really been able to slow them down outside of Cathedral in Week 1. East Noble has just ran roughshod over everybody. I expect that to continue. Obviously, this week a huge game with New Haven. We'll see what happens there, but I look at that sectional, and I'm not sure anybody outside Northwood can slow down that East Noble offense.
Yeah, Wawasee, Northridge on the bottom half, along with Columbia City versus Northwood. You already mentioned Northwood, but if you're East Noble, how do you, again, not overlook DeKalb because they've actually gotten on a pretty darn good hot streak the last couple of weeks, played some really good football, specifically on offense. Plus, whoever comes out of that Plymouth-Angola game, they're going to have a pretty solid record. And if it's Plymouth, you've got to go to Plymouth.
Yeah, definitely. Plymouth, a traditionally strong program. You know, they got some name recognition. You know, Plymouth is always pretty solid. So going there, having to play, get a decent-sized bus ride. You know, Kendallville to Plymouth isn't tremendously far, but a little bit. And going to play those games, it's always tough to get, especially when you don't really go very far during the year. It's kind of tough to get on a bus and go for an hour, hour and a half, and then get off and be ready to play. So East Noble, very similar to Snyder, at least the first two rounds. They shouldn't get beat, but if they come out flat, you know, Plymouth or Angola is capable of giving them a game.
So you look at it as East Noble Northwood in the finals. Who do you think pulls that one out? Because I think East Noble got a good taste of what elite football is like in Week 1 against Cathedral. Obviously, the score wasn't what Luke Amstutz would have liked, but getting that experience early, how valuable is it if they're facing a #1 Northwood team in the sectional championship game?
It definitely helps, and I think for East Noble to have a deep run and even to win the NE8 this week, to beat New Haven, the defense is going to have to come to play one of these games, whether it's this week, whether it's sectional finals against Northwood. At some point, that offense is not going to be able to score at will like it has most of the year, and the defense is going to have to come ready to play. They have, for the most part. They just haven't had to do it. The game hasn't been on the line with the defense on the field. And I think for East Noble to have a deep run, it's going to have to come to play. It could be that Northwood game the third week of sectionals.